give you some time, but I'll be back at sunrise. For better or for worse, you'll have to make your decision.
We're not giving him up.
Don't you understand? Like, what?
Call him up. We want to meet him.
No, I can't, no! I can't do this, no! No! God!
Lewis is gone. I am Viquor Chaos.
So, you showed us yours? How about I show you mine?
What?
Yeah, you're such a badass.
Shut up!
You know who our enemy is? His name is Viquor Chaos.
So I lost my job. I'll probably get a new one. I mean, and so what if that bitch thinks I'm too immature? She's the one who can't hold down a job. I mean, damn it, I'm talking to myself like an idiot. This is... Your voice in my head. This is the last thing I need right now.
No, Lewis. You have to listen to me.
No!
Lewis, listen.
Oh, what the hell, dude? No!
Hello, stranger. You look lost.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the end of your life.
All right, asshole.
and welcome to America. I'm Phoenix the First.
And I'm Foxcatcher.
This week we're kind of a little bit behind because we just came off one of the worst animes ever, so what are we reviewing this week?
Well, I got a couple options for you, man.
Okay, let's see them.
Here, pick a card. Any card.
I don't want to review any of those.
Just pick one. Come on.
Fine. Great. We all lose. Tenjho Tenge started as a manga written by Oh Great, the author of Air Gear. Since the manga's sole purpose was the proliferation of excessive female nudity and violence, but mostly nudity, it has been read by basement dwellers around the world. Since the Japanese have known for centuries that animated breasts are cheaper and easier to make incredibly large, the next logical choice was to make Tenge into an anime and to localize both to the USA. To give you an idea of the intellectual depth of its readers, a stink equivalent to the Occupy Wall Street protests was ignited just by censorship of the explicit sexual material contained in the manga by the American distribution company. Granted, there was a point to be raised because the company's sole policy was manga as it's originally written, but still, the chief complaint about the anime is that it's not more sexually explicit. Seriously. Truly, these guys are the next great philosophers. Regardless of how the sophomoric pornographic manga turns out, something I'll never know because I'll never read it, the anime only covers the first 8 volumes, meaning that the ending is sure to be anything but conclusive. Yeah, which is great because we all know how great this turned out last time.
Look, I'm sorry about Guyver.
Yeah, not nearly enough. Sickos and perverts, virgins and eunuchs, this is Tenjho Tenge. The first episode begins with... As I was saying, the first episode... And I'm already pissed off. This is Soichiro Nagi, so you better like him, because he's the male protagonist.
Actually...
The black guy is Bob. Why? I don't know.
So this is Toto Academy, our new playground.
If we take over this school, it'll make an even 100.
An even 100? As in 100 schools that they control? Screw this! These guys aren't Soichiro and Bob. They're Alexander and Genghis. How could anyone have pulled that off?
Well, back before the glorious days of MySpace and Facebook, the only way to make that many friends in Japan was to take over the school, enslave them, and force them to be your friends.
Does that still work?
No, not quite.
Before we continue the expansion of the Persian Empire, we should meet the other characters. This bumbling loser that all his friends like to step on is Masataka Takayanagi, and this toddler is Maya Natsume.
Takayanagi!
I'm so sorry to keep you waiting, Captain.
Why are you late?
You forgot to change my diaper!
No, this is apparently an imp form that she can transform into, because she just can. Seriously, they talk about energy and control over her body, but only one other character can do this in the entire show, and even she doesn't turn into a small child. This is just weird.
Anyway, the two have more important things to attend to.
Our captain's little sister. Well, is your little sister really pretty like you are, Captain?
I don't know. I guess I still see her as a child.
Oh, come on.
I don't know what you've imagined her to be like, but don't expect too much. She's little more than a child who up till recently was still wetting her bed.
Oh, well, what is she, like 12?
Wait. This is Aya Natsume? What did Maya just say about her?
She's little more than a child who up till recently was still wetting her bed.
And what did she say about her earlier?
I guess I still see her as a child.
And this is her. And this is you.
She's gonna piss us off, isn't she?
Yeah, you know how hot Aya is? Yeah! Bet you'd love to get your hands on that, wouldn't you? Guess how old she is?
Damn it, Japan!
Seriously though, fans of this show need to take a good step back and think about this for just a second. One of two things is true. Either the target audience of this show is teenagers, in which case animation studios, run by adults, are marketing and selling sex to kids, or, and this is even worse, the target audience is not kids, in which case that only leaves adults, which would mean that they are marketing pedophilia.
If you think about it at all, where are all the children's advocacy groups that fight against kids having sex in high school? Wouldn't you think by going after porn like this, they would go a long ways towards solving the problem?
No, because then all these hormonally imbalanced children, who can't even reason altruistically yet, will accuse you of crushing their pathetic worlds. And adults who never mentally matured past the age of 16 will boycott you because you didn't want to market sex to children. Funny how anime culture works, isn't it?
Alright, I think we've made our point. Anyway, Masataka, who's probably just discovering feelings, is massively attracted to Aya's boobs. It's really not important, so... violence!
What the hell kind of first-termers are you guys? Do you at least have a reason for being so destructive?
I've got an excellent reason. We decided to skip the orientation ceremonies, so we're having our own little orientation instead.
You know, as awesome as this is, Guyver already has an edge on this show. At least in Guyver, Sho didn't want to destroy the school buildings, and he tried to prevent damage to it. Here, it's like they get extra credit for it or something.
While Aya showers, 5 minutes into the first episode and there's already a shower scene. This doesn't bode well for good storytelling. Maya and Masataka are summoned to the school, where Nagi and Bob have left a trail of bodies in their wake. Nagi and Bob. This is already silly.
It's quite clear that both of you are very powerful. Now please put your fist down and stop this. If you refuse, then you leave me no choice but to stop you myself.
Okay, you have to admit, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, you're right.
Bob, there's a weird little girl here who talks like a grandpa wanting to fight me. What do you think that I should do about this?
I don't know.
Of course, because a naively slutty girl wasn't good enough, Maya transforms into an intentionally slutty girl. You know, I'm confused. Are we supposed to love her just because she has tits?
Well, not just because of that.
Anyway, because there is no Japanese equivalent to the word contrivance, Soichiro lands on Aya as she's getting out of the shower, which somehow results in Aya naked on top of Nagi. Are we really going to try and analyze this nonsense?
Basically, because Nagi fell through the roof and nearly killed her, Aya is now madly in love with him. Just like all women.
Thank you! Thank you! Yes, thank you! Thank you! Yes!
Why, hello there. My name is Aya Natsume. I would like for you to marry me.
Yeah, because if it's one thing that Japan has proven over the centuries, it's that forced marriage is the only true way to love.
Thank you! So kind! Thank you!
Naturally, Nagi responds like any high school freshman would.
Dumb girl!
Well, aside from kicking in the door.
What do you mean? That was how I opened doors in high school. Especially after a marriage proposal.
After this, Aya takes the whole marriage thing totally seriously and turns into a nutball stalker, obsessed with making Nagi eat her lunch. No, that's not a euphemism. That's what actually happens.
After they beat that gag into the ground and stomp it to death, Soichiro needs a distraction, so he challenges Masataka to a fight.
Come to think, I have a score to settle with you, remember?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your issue isn't with me, but with Maya.
It makes no difference to me.
Whatever, I'm sticking with he got bored. Unfortunately for Nagi, Masataka is a grade A badass, and the episode ends just as the fight is about to get going. I should have known.
Well, it isn't good yet, but it really isn't all that bad either.
Trust me, we'll have plenty of time for both, but much more of the latter.
The next episode starts, where else, with Masataka versus Nagi.
If it makes you feel any better, this is the first time I've fought someone as tough as you are.
You know, if there's one thing this show does better than any other anime we've reviewed so far, it's the fight scenes. Guyver had a way of making potentially epic clashes into boring, drawn-out speeches split up by running around. None of that here.
And Shigerai was worse. Sure, there was plenty of atmosphere and tension, but every fight was decided in 1 or 2 moves. It was the fighting equivalent of premature ejaculation. It's like the final boss battle of Final Fantasy VII. Sure, Savior Sephiroth is intimidating, his music is epic, and he's a formidable opponent. But all that really loses its flavor when you can take him down in one shot with Knights of the Round. But this show, almost every fight is great. Anyway, where were we?
After Suichiro uses Aya's lunch to distract Masataka, a move that everyone thinks is super dirty for some reason, Masataka's had enough.
Well, this may be awesome, but guess how many more awesome things Masataka does over the course of the entire show? Yep. And guess when this scene is explained? You got it.
You ruin everything.
Meanwhile, Suichiro takes his loss like a man. That was sarcasm.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I'm fading away. I'm sick of this life, I just wanna scream.
Don't ever lose again. Not ever.
You idiot! Who do you think you're talking to?
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Oh, if only this show was that cool. And I don't even like Gurren Lagann that much.
Suichiro decides it's the best time for a flashback of him being bullied as a child. So that's what we get. I'm sorry, did I say Suichiro getting bullied? I meant him beating the crap out of other children. Wait, this officially makes no sense.
Speaking of things that make no sense, as the next day dawns, Aya and Maya discuss what will happen to Suichiro for getting beat up in school, I guess.
I heard the Executive Council seniors are on the move. I'm rather excited to see who the new executioner will be. Now then, their punishment? Executioner?
What? Who in the hell is in charge of this executive board?
Off with his head!
Oh, well that makes sense.
While all of the characters we know stand around and do a whole lot of nothing, a girl with pink slinky hair and bunny ears named Suzu tells the president of the pro wrestling club and a guy who can throw fireballs to take out Bob and Soichiro. I'm not making any of this up.
Now this may go without saying, but you have absolutely no room for error.
I'm just taking a little advance payment of my reward.
I should have known! A booby trap!
Meanwhile, we cut back to Bob, who apparently has his own apartment and live-in girlfriend. While in high school. Since the show does not.
After Soichiro kicks their door down, his way of knocking, I guess, they talk about his loss.
Well, I'm afraid at this point, my friend, it's pretty clear that you're weaker than that midget chick, Takayanagi, and Aya.
Yeah, I guess. That is pretty clear.
Meanwhile, Fireball Man confuses Bob's motorcycle for Bob himself and sets it ablaze.
Hey, Nagi, does it smell like something's burning?
I don't know. Maybe somebody went out there and set your motorcycle on fire.
Irony!
And with that, the episode ends.
I don't get your attitude towards this show, Phoenix. I mean, yeah, it's got some bogus nudity and some objectionable artistic choices, but aside from that, it's really entertaining.
I agree.
Wait, really?
Of course. We're only 2 episodes in.
Oh no! My wax motorcycle replica! Sure enough, the next episode begins with Bob and Soichiro discovering the grisly aftermath of one of the most brutal motorcycle slayings of all time. Soichiro, being the tactical genius that he is, comes up with a brilliant plan.
We start by grabbing every suspicious-looking guy that we see, and then we begin to beat the crap out of them one by one. We're bound to come across the culprit at some point.
Honestly, doesn't Bob's face capture how stupid his plan is? I don't even need to make a joke. Doesn't his look perfectly capture every reason why Soichiro should never open his mouth again? Oh, and don't forget, this guy is our main character.
I bet the guy who did this is probably still close by.
Hey, that was actually some pretty cracked deduction there. I vote Bob for a more important role. Oh, suck my dick.
I'm gonna find his ass and kill him right now.
Of course, in this light comedy show, the next target for death by our hilarious homicidal firebender is Chiaki, Bob's live-in girlfriend, who is busy at the laundromat.
What the hell was that?
Don't worry. It'll be explained eventually.
Oh, okay.
But not well.
Oh, son of a...
Meanwhile, Aya dresses up like Kurt Russell and takes off to help Soichiro.
I seem to see it all pretty clearly. I see Soichiro-sama's figure. So maybe this is what they call the power of love.
The red pinky string! You see? Let's follow the thread of destiny tied to my love!
Yeah, except we love him, whereas you just have big boobs. And you're ripping off Yu Yu Hakusho. We hate you now. Because the show has given up trying to explain why Maya exists aside from plot purposes, they use her for some valuable exposition.
Long ago, Aya began showing signs that she too possessed that power. The power of the Dragon Eye. In ancient China, it was referred to as Crystal Eye. A person with this eye can see through everything. They can see into the past or far into the future. It's said they have the powers to communicate not only with humans, but also with objects that don't appear to be alive.
Things that don't appear to be alive? Hey, what if we had the Dragon's Eye? Then we could talk to Wario!
Let's try it!
Yeah! Oh, Wario! Alright, turn around, turn around.
I'm Wario. I'm gonna win.
Awesome!
Hey! You know what?
Yeah?
If we can do that, let's look into the future and see if this show gets any good.
Alright, fine.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Well, hey, at least now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Meanwhile, the two guys are getting their asses kicked.
Falcon Punch!
Aya arrives on the scene. Seeing everyone defeated, she assumes the worst and attacks.
You must be Natsume's younger sister. You got a pretty good set of tits for a girl your age.
Yeah, this guy? Played by an adult voice actor, complimenting a 15-year-old on her breasts. I'm just saying, guys, you're sick.
The mere reference to her breasts causes Aya's shirt to rip open because physics are way over the show's head.
Anger disrupts your chi. Even if you were butt naked, you couldn't beat me in the state you're in.
What? Being naked offers no offensive advantage whatsoever. Especially when your breasts are that big. It's like an extra handicap, having those things swing all over the place. You, sir, are stupid.
Unless he was trying to use reverse psychology to make her strip. In which case, he's still a perverted sicko. Remember, she's how old?
I want to become stronger.
I want to become stronger.
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 I don't know what point they're trying to get across. It's just too complicated and convoluted for me, I guess.
While the idiot sisters actually contemplate and discuss what the phrase get stronger means, Masataka and Bob have an equally important conversation.
I'm an orange.
I'm a watermelon.
No. Instead, they exposit about how the Executive Council has been around for a really, really long time, and how they have all this power, and how they're really great fighters. And just when we're ready for a nap, we cut to a rather tense scene where Aya just wants to use a purple sword.
You're holding... this? I was thinking about working with this instead of the Masaki.
You may not!
But how come?
Be quiet! You are not permitted to use this sword ever again!
You're welcome to use any sword but this one. Just not the Chokuto Reiki.
Yeah, the Chokuto Reiki is actually very relevant. You might want to remember it. It drives virtually the entire plot of the show later on.
Meanwhile, Bob finds Suichiro fishing for boots and convinces him that if they're not going to dominate Toba Academy, then they should at least go out as badasses. So they join up with Maya's club so that the Executive Council, which apparently has no authority aside from hired assassins, can't force them to resign from school, which is Japan's definition of expulsion. Follow? No? Good. Then you're just as lost as we are.
Meanwhile, the fireball guy tells Maya that the council's ruling is final, but when Maya realizes that her hair is ridiculous enough to screw the rules, Ryuzaki challenges her to a fight. Because Maya is apparently the queen of badasses, she boasts that she can take him out with a single branch. The most epic showdown yet is upon us, and what the hell? Apparently, the show has contracted Shigarai disease. As we cut away to watch Bob emulate Eddie Gordo, Aya discover the true meaning of love, or whatever, and the episode ends with a shot of Ryuzaki's corpse with the sprig resting on his imploded chest? Thanks for showing the fight, jackass!
Starting to see what I meant?
Yeah.
Good.
The next episode begins with the most epic scene in the show as Masataka fights a dragon.
Masataka-sama!
Aya!
Obviously, this is a dream, but it's so awesome, I don't care.
But being that you're a martial artist of that caliber, you shouldn't act so cocky.
What? You're a martial artist of that caliber.
Nagi! Don't act so cocky!
Yes, you're a martial artist of that caliber.
I get it! Believe it! I'm a ninja! 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 Believe it!
Of course. This bothers him because the boobs of the girl that said it make his pee-pee hard. Speaking of boobs...
Meanwhile, Maya is trying to impersonate Mr. Miyagi by having Soichiro punch pans to learn something involving depth of punch, but it seems ridiculous to begin training using something as slim as a pan when he hasn't honed the skill yet. Why not start out with something like, I don't know, a punching bag?
If you keep going along at this rate, you won't eat again today.
Oh, come on. We're going on day 3 now.
Again, if you need a reason to dislike Maya, she's actually so stupid that she thinks that starving her student during training is a good idea. Has she heard of muscles? Does she know how they work?
In exactly 1 hour and 10 minutes. Even a marathon runner would be impressed.
You're quite fortunate to be physically gifted. You have the height, the limber muscles, and the jumping ability that is quite unique to your genetics.
Yeah. You want to know what the subtitles say?
You're quite fortunate to be physically gifted. You have the height, the limber muscles, and the jumping ability that is quite unique to your genetics.
I don't know if that's racist or sad or what.
Well, it does answer my initial question.
Because Ryuzaki is literally dead now, the pro wrestling guy is put in charge of taking out the Jukin Club, and he's all excited. But then he gets a little too excited.
I will enforce the order and rules of this academy.
By wrestling them into submission.
Seriously, is this guy so deluded that he thinks they'll just jump into a power bomb or let him hit him with a suplex or let him tombstone them on solid concrete? Is this for real?
Anyway, this isn't important because it's time for fan service.
You know, Miss Chiaki, you're very pretty. It makes me jealous.
That's very sweet. But Aya, hearing that come from you sounds a little insincere.
Huh?
You know, Aya, you're a very attractive girl. If you want something to happen, you have to take the lead. Kinda like this.
Wait, stop. Please stop. Will you please stop?
I guess I got a little carried away.
Even as fan service, this fails miserably. Neither of them are nude at all, and this scene goes nowhere. It doesn't set up some kind of gay flirtation that's ever acted on down the line. Not only that, but this is Bob's live-in girlfriend that's taking the initiative here and coming on to Aya. In what realm does this make any kind of sense?
Well, if it was porn, it'd make sense.
Exactly. You know what? I yield the rest of my time on this subject to anyone who wants to disagree with me that marketing this to kids is despicable. Come on, get on your soapbox and try to make this about censorship. I know you can do it. Hey, you know what we can also do? We can even get all those people involved who download movies illegally and violate people's property rights on a daily basis, and they can complain about how their rights are being violated when all they care about is not being able to steal anymore. It'll be fun!
Disclaimer. We here at America in no way endorse SOPA or any of the other internet regulation bills currently in Congressional Committee for turnaround. However, it smacks as very hypocritical to us that many people who argue against these bills also wantonly download movies and music illegally, thereby violating the intellectual property rights of musical artists, music studios, directors, film studios, and other individuals on a regular basis. Just saying, if you want your rights protected, don't violate the rights of others.
Back in the world of things that matter, well, kind of, the plot wants us to think that Maya is some kind of sage or something, so it turns out that her training that would never work in the real world actually works.
I was fasting him to try and get some chi in his abdomen. I guess this is something unexpected that was just waiting to happen.
Oh, come on! Chi does not work that way! Neither does biology! Look, when you get hungry, the reason that you get angry or lose the ability to concentrate is because the hunger centers of your brain are emitting signals to tell you to eat. Now, if anything, this would cause chi to be centered in the brain if we're supposed to believe this has anything to do with body activity. But the way that chi works in this show has less to do with biology or real-life chi, and more with being a deus ex machina that does whatever the characters say it does. Good writing? Could you use that in a sentence?
Back in the realm of things that couldn't matter less, Aya spends all night and part of the next morning obsessing about Soichiro, She's so screw loose over him that she goes looking for him, but finds more fan service instead.
Soichiro-sama, I've been looking everywhere. Where is he? Have you seen him around?
He's over there, sound asleep.
He's shirtless. She's shirtless.
Now, what are you imagining, Aya? Use your power. That's what your dragon's eye is for, or perhaps this is just your woman's intuition.
Remember this moment. Maya telling Aya to use the dragon's eye? It'll come in handy later.
If you hadn't claimed him as your fiancé, I may have fallen in love with him. I'm only joking. Sorry if I upset you.
Yeah, I know that I was bathing next to the man that you love and that he was missing some clothes, but nothing happened. Totally. I mean, if it happened again, we might have sex, but...
Gasp!
What? That was a joke. Didn't you think that was funny? Oh, I've got to work on this humor thing that you kids are so into nowadays. In the meantime, you should totally trust me, though. Okay, bye!
With that nonsense out of the way, Soichiro wakes up in Aya's lap, but has no time for her except to break her heart.
That midget girl? It's amazing how ridiculously strong she is. And unlike me, that chick's really smart. She seems to know everything. But you know, there's something about her that I think is just exactly like me.
Seriously, plot, you are not going to make us like Maya. And what was the point of that monologue?
Yeah, I know you're so in love with me that you want to get married and have tons of sex or whatever, but I'm gonna go bang your sister. She's totally hot. Okay, bye. And on that note of pointless drama, the episode ends.
You know, I'm actually glad we just had that scene because it allows me to bring up possibly my least favorite plot device in all of anime.
Really? What's that?
Relationship drama.
Several friends recommended Honey and Clover to me, so I watched it for a season and a half. And it sucked! You know, that's not to say it wasn't excellently drawn, excellently acted, and excellently written. The entire plot was just summarily pointless. Basically, the main character Takemoto is in love with Hagu, who is in love with Shinobu. At the same time that unwieldy triangle is spinning its wheels, there's another one going on that's even more frustrating. It's an all too common plot device in anime, and I can't stand it. I've heard it argued that it works because it's true to life, but I will never understand why, in a fictional medium, where characters utilize naught but energy to destroy impossibly daunting enemies, and where women have chests bigger than Pamela Anderson, why fans are obsessed with realism when it comes to how people interact, and especially the miserable reality of unappreciated feelings. It's painful. It sucks. Therefore, by association, if this unfortunate reality is your entire plot, your story sucks.
Alright, we're taking way too long with this. Let's just keep going.
Alright. I mean, I've already pissed off just about every anime fan in existence, so let's go.
The next episode begins in a bowling alley, and you know what? To hell with this show. Look at this. Chiaki is dressed in a super revealing pink dress to go bowling. The most inconvenient sport to play in a dress. And Maya is hard at work trying to out-slut her. Where are your objections to realism now, fanboys?
A perfect hit!
What in the world transpired on that night?
Nice!
Wow, that was
Way to
amazing,
go, Aya!
Aya! What a great hit!
Okay, so apparently all you need to be good at bowling is enough chi. And why is everyone so excited about Aya's strike? Did they miss both Bob's and Chiaki's strikes, or did they just not expect the child to be able to do it?
Thankfully, we cut to the super wrestler meeting with Vash the Stampede's rejected character design?
Tell me why you're here. I understood that I'd be the executioner this time. I must say I'm quite displeased by this development.
I feel the same. We're in complete agreement on this. To use so many of us to attack so few, it goes against the spirit of the samurai.
I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with this anymore. I have to say something. Who are these guys?
Ryuzaki and this guy both wear school uniforms, so I guess we're supposed to assume they're high school students. But they both sound and look like adults. Are they teachers? What do the teachers at this school look like? All we know about the wrestling guy is that he's the president of the pro wrestling club. That tells us nothing. And now this guy is talking about the samurai spirit. What the hell? Is he supposed to be in high school? He looks like a 45-year-old nomad, at least.
I think the real question is, why do you care so much? I mean, it's obvious this is a lazy, stupid anime made purely for brainless enjoyment. So just chill out.
No! This is stupid!
Fox, we have way too much of this left to go.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, the Vice President has shown up to make things even more confusing.
Miss Vice President, do you really feel that I can't handle this task alone?
That isn't the case. All that we're doing is controlling the variables of this equation before the situation becomes unmanageable. If we choose not to act and instead let those two freshmen go unchecked, they may very well prove to be a problem to us in the future.
Why? How? How can somebody being good at martial arts be a threat to you inherently? This is Gyo all over again.
Of course, yes. This biker meth head is supposed to be a high school student too. And it turns out that they're talking about Aya and her dragon eye. Enthralling.
Oh yeah, Dragon's Eye. That's important suddenly, as Aya can't handle not knowing about her sister and Suichiro anymore. So she uses it to find out what happened.
Is anyone surprised? Oh yeah, here we go.
Aya, tell me what you've been...
Yeah! Hit her again!
Seriously, she deserved that. Wait, let me see it one more time. In slow-mo. Oh, that's good. Anyway, Maya's been toying with Aya the entire time like a vindictive biatch.
Yeah. When I said to hold on to the scene where Maya told Aya to use the dragon's eye, this is what I meant. Maya openly mocked Aya, goading her into using her dragon's eye to find out the truth, and lied to her in the meantime. She did what she did despite the fact that she knew her younger sister was ready to marry Soichiro. But if you think that is the worst thing Maya does, you haven't seen this show before.
Anyway, it's time for a battle or four as Isuzu enters the bathroom right as Aya is leaving, and a slut fight breaks out in the bathroom with panty shots, ass shots, and boobs galore. Yeah, I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm burnt out on the fan service. Sorry. Can't do it.
Meanwhile, meth head high school Alice Cooper doesn't want to touch Aya with a 10-foot pole. Literally. And as a mob surrounds the three male characters, Bob gives Soichiro grief about figuring out a reason to fight.
Listen, Soichiro, I know you to be a rather simple, somewhat stupid, somewhat oblivious, but generally pretty good guy. But I have to tell you that lately, you've been acting a little bit lamer than normal. Why do you want to fight these guys? Take this opportunity to find that out.
I don't care about any of these losers. I just want to beat the hell out of those pans. Yeah, pans.
Masataka decides that because Maya and Aya are both women's, they need protecting. So he sends Nagi to go help them out because misguided honor? Remember, this is the guy that both Aya and Maya continuously deride for being the weakest of the three Juken Club members, behind the 15-year-old girl and the slutty imp he's being sent to protect. What?
As the two sluts decide to stand still, because that's dramatic, Soichiro runs into the wrestling master.
Out of the way, lard ass, or you're dead!
I'm not that. I'm big bone.
And with that hilarious, ballsy line, the episode ends.
I swear, if we don't see these fights, well, I don't really care about the slut battle, but if we miss the rest of them, I'm gonna kill someone.
Fox, take it easy. These fights are way too important to skip.
Oh, you really think so? Good.
Well, for the most part.
The next episode begins in the thick of all the fights, but they're pretty hit and miss. The fight between Masataka, Bob, and the crowd is awesome. But as we'll find out, the outcome of this fight as it stands is completely irrelevant.
The fight between Aya and Alice is mostly stupid. It's mostly Aya's inner monologue and a whole lot of this.
The slut fight is pretty much just fan service. I mean, yeah, punches are thrown, but the ending is just Isuzu being revealed as a shapeshifter like Maya, except that her usual form is her shifted form, and she's actually very obese. Okay?
I couldn't figure out how she was able to hide all those weapons before, but now it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so there that is. Nothing too spectacular. There's so much potential here for an epically paced and executed quadruple showdown, but instead, the best fight is mostly ignored and the fan service run-on gets the most screen time.
Meanwhile, Soichiro's dragon aura begins to pulsate because he hears Aya calling to him. I guess that's how that works. And while their fight kicks back into full gear, Student Council President Mitsuomi Takayanagi, whose lifelong dream is to cosplay as Maester Seymour, arrives at the bowling alley, halting the awesome fight between Bob Masataka and the crowd.
Maya, having finished beating up a fat girl, arrives to help Soichiro, but passes out because helping people is beyond her pain threshold.
German suplex! Power bomb!
This is actually supposed to work? Do the Japanese watch professional wrestling and think it's like on par with ninja skills or has anything to do with chi? Seriously.
Scorpion deathlock!
Rope! The rope!
What? You've reached the rope? I have no choice then.
You bought that?
Again, that was funny. But it's like, in between these rare good jokes, they forget how to write the show, and then just fill the space in between with random Japanese folklore, tits, and violence.
Oh, you're done? Aren't you forgetting something?
Not that I know of. Oh, shut up.
The wrestler dude locks up Soichiro's arm in a Kimura, and it looks to be all over when suddenly...
What have you...
But that's Tanshinko! The massive turning force he gained from the Tanshinko, instead of releasing it, he's developing it into a stronger power within his own body!
Because science!
Soichiro delivers a massive punch to the wrestler's gut, causing his life to flash before his eyes. It's life and death now.
Why don't we just call it quits here, okay? I mean, it's not like you and me are out here to actually try and kill each other.
Like I said, life and death.
If you want to ask me for a rematch, I'll give you top priority.
This could be it for either one of them.
Next time. Next time, I guarantee you I'll win.
No! Damn it, no! What was the point of that fight? What happened to the wrestler's desire to be the sole executioner and no margin for error and all the other crap he was supposed to uphold? Damn it, this is so stupid!
Meanwhile, with the whole crowd magically defeated off screen, Bob and Masataka go to get Chiaki from the locker they stashed her in.
What the heck good is it if you end up getting hurt in the process, you idiot? He looks like he's really in pain.
This isn't funny!
As Masataka, who has quickly recovered from that lethal blow to the balls, and Chiaki help the injured Bob through the slew of bodies toward the elevator, President Mitsuomi and his henchmen arrive. And that's the episode.
Wow. They managed to ruin every single fight except the one that they didn't show the ending to. If I had to describe these last 3 episodes in 2 words, it'd be wasted potential.
Hold on to that thought, Fox. We're not even a third of the way through this thing.
What? Oh.
The 8th episode begins with, you know what? Just watch.
You have only defeated a measly 80 opponents, and now you need assistance from a freshman just so you can walk. You're pathetic. Weakling. You are a disgrace to the Takayanagi name.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
Baby!
Seriously? That was awesome. He punched Masataka so hard, Bob's nose bled. Why can't the whole show be over-the-top stuff like this? Why does so much of it have to be tits, ass, and underwhelming conclusions?
Meanwhile, far, far away from the awesome, some woman attacks Masataka, and Bob decides to take a crack at Mitsuomi rather than die whimpering. But...
Well, he's dead. Chiaki might as well start looking for a headstone. And what?
Excellent effort. Come, work under me. Natsume doesn't have the skills to handle your talent. Let me train you, and I'll turn you into the finest weapon in this academy.
Well, that's a fascinating twist. And handled so well. The writing was great. Everything. I wonder how they're going to follow this up.
Bob, jeez, you're acting like a pussy. You're not some kind of wimp.
You know what? Actually, I'm not even mad. That was hilarious. On the roof, things take a turn for the disturbing as Aya gives herself fully over to the power of the Dragon's Eye, and some serious ponage ensues.
Luckily, Soichiro arrives at the roof just in time to break things up and...
It's all right. I don't think he's dead. I hope not, at least.
Okay, psychopath. Whatever. Soichiro probably totally wants her now.
Yes! I heard it! I actually heard it!
Well, not anymore, he doesn't. Would somebody do something? Well, I guess that works. Since when can you do CPR with a single blow?
I don't know, but I'm gonna get my certification from the place that teaches it.
Next time, win. Win. And enjoy it.
Yeah, that's great and whatever, but the awesome has arrived.
Your position sure doesn't have a whole lot of perks, does it, Natsume? They say stress can be beauty's Achilles heel. Be careful now. Don't push yourself.
Yes, ladies. I would like to introduce you to the man of the hour. The greatest character to ever grace this show. The walking machismo machine. Throw your bras in the air. If you still got 'em, that is. It's time for Boon Shichi.
Now just point those tits someplace else. I don't give a damn about those things. I'm telling you, those tits of yours have always been a deadly weapon against me. There's 2 things in this world that render me powerless. Shiitake mushrooms and your tits.
Holy crap! This guy is awesome! It's like he's the only one who realizes how stupid everything is. It's like he sees right through all the high school drama and doesn't take any of these idiots seriously.
Whatever happened to men?
We've gotten so pathetic that we're being trained by female imps on how to fight. We've gotten so bad that scantily clad women laugh at us instead of fawning over us.
What happened to us? You know what? We need a new class of men that kick ass, stand under their own weight, and make women want them. not make them their slaves.
Boy!
Demand dignity. Demand charisma. The official vodka of Bunshichi.
There's two things in this world that render me powerless: shiitake mushrooms and your tits.
Well, being that he's awesome, his time is short for now. But don't worry, Bunshichi, Doctor of Awesome, will be back.
So, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna fight or what?
Me? I think I'll pass.
Besides, you couldn't hang with this. I'm way too cool for this show and your tits, baby. Go take a cold shower. You need it. Oh, yeah.
Instead, we finally get the showdown between Maya and Aya that should have happened a long time ago, really.
Come on, Aya. The boy had passed out because he overextended what little amount of chi he had. So I just gave him some of mine to wake him up.
Yeah. Riddle me this. If all it took to transfer chi to his hand was to hold it up to your forehead, why did you have to kiss him? And why did it involve tongue? You know, Maya, you can at least put effort into your bald-faced lies. Just when it seems like the whole thing is finally going to end, we cut to, holy crap, Mitsuomi murdered everyone! I mean, they're probably still alive, but that's his brother. They're both motionless. This is horrifying.
You're dead.
And that's 8 episodes.
Oh, I need a break.
Yeah, I could use some fresh air. Hey, Fox! What time is it?
Yeah, about 20 after noon.
Who's out there?
Hey,